Hey guys, SirVern back here, and today I'm reviewing Risk of Rain 2 for the PS4, played via the PS5. I'm going to go over the same 5 categories I always do: graphics, performance, gameplay slash story, replayability, fun factor, give each category a score from 1 to 10, average them up, and then talk about the game a little bit. This is a rogue-like third-person shooter. I think Gearbox published this game. It's really neat. It's unique. I played the first game, which is like 2D on the Vita. It's cross-buy, so I also have the PS4 version and the PS3 version, I think. But they're really neat. You know, you get upgrades, you run around, fight enemies, but we'll talk more about that in gameplay. But we'll start with graphics. As you can see, graphics are not the strongest in this game. They're not great. It's not very realistic. But I think it's just fine for what it's trying to do. I gave it a 6.5, which I think is a fair rating. You know, you got to think that top of the PS4 might be like Death Stranding or Horizon, you know. So this is just kind of okay graphics. Nothing terrible though. Easily, it gets by just fine. You know, it's not perfect, but good enough. Next category, performance. I give it a 9. I almost gave it a 10, but the only reason is those little portals right there, teleporters you try to make to, right? Everything's like procedurally generated, I think. So every time you play, it's going to be a tad bit different. You're always looking for those teleporters to go to the next level. There's like 7 stages in each run, and I'll get more into that in gameplay, but there was a slight issue with those. Sometimes those will... I had one instance where it appeared like half under a rock, so I looked for it ever, trying to find it, couldn't find it. So I guess that would be a performance issue. But overall, it's fine. It runs at like a solid 60 frames per second. It doesn't crash. The game works great. Also, I gave it a 9 because sometimes trying to get your buddies into a game, not every time, but can be, you know, a little frustrating. You know, you'll send it, invite, it won't work, whatever. But overall, it's great. That doesn't happen most of the time. This is an older game, maybe 2013 the first one came out. I don't know, I'd have to look it up. But anyway, performance 9, very good. I never had like a hard crash or anything like that. Next up, gameplay slash story. So the story is very bare bones, but this game, the gameplay is just amazing. You can see right here, I'm just kind of messing around because I got super overpowered. So what you do in this game is you get these power-ups, and they can stack. You can see on top that some of them I have 2, 4, 3. So if one item like heals you as you kill enemies, every time you kill an enemy, you'll gain a little bit of health. Well, you can stack that, and you'll gain even more health by killing enemies. Or you can get these drones that follow you, and that's what they're doing right here, healing me. I don't know why I'm running into this rock. Oh, I do know why. So it's a long story, but I had to go to the bathroom, so I'm using the bathroom during this. So I'm just holding my joystick in the bathroom. TMI. But anyway, I was so powerful at this point that like nothing could. Obviously, I died, but nothing could hurt me very much. So, but that's what you do. You get these power ups, and then you go to a teleporter. You have to stay at the teleporter for I don't know, like a minute, and then it'll go to a certain percentage, and then you can travel to the next world, and it takes all your money. There's a lot of little crates and upgrades, you know, like I said, to buy from crates, or it'll have like a kiosk with 3 items to choose from, so you can kind of build your own character as you go through. But it's random every time. You know, sometimes you may not get the items you're looking for. So you may have a really good run and then a terrible one, right? And then there's like 10 different characters to choose from. They have multiple abilities. Like this character, you can see L1, R1, R2, L2. All of them do different things. And you can upgrade those. You can unlock new abilities. So it's just, it's a deep game. It's really cool. And this game's probably been reviewed 100 times by others on YouTube, but I'm just finally getting around to beating it with a buddy of mine. And I'll get to that too. But I give gameplay slash story a 10. Like I said, the story is There is a story, very bare bones. It plays like a little cutscene when you start the game. Um, so the story is not the reason I give it a 10. It's definitely the gameplay. It is addicting. It is fun. Um, Leveling up your characters, going through that next run, trying to make your guy just insanely overpowered is so addicting. Um, you know, this is an archer that I used for a while. I just unlocked a new character, but I've got drones following me. You can have like 5 drones healing you. Meanwhile, you know, you can get double jumps, and if you find 2 double jumps, you can triple and quadruple. It's just, it's almost like you just want to keep playing it to try to break the game or do something so crazy that you're just like invincible. It's addicting. It is so much fun. But yeah, once you die, that's it. There's no save points or anything like that. So it's a roguelike. So um, I'm not a fan of all roguelikes, I guess, but this one I definitely am. I love this game. I love the first game too, although the first one doesn't have a platinum. But anyway, that category, gameplay slash story, a 10. Um, Next category is replayability. Normally I'm really hard on this category, but this one gets an 8.5 for me, which is very high for me. This game, like I said, there's characters to unlock. I don't even have half the characters unlocked at this point, and each character can unlock new abilities. You can unlock new skins for the character by doing certain things within the game. For instance, I think it's to get a new skin with this character I'm using here, I have to get 12 of one item, which is, you know, not difficult to do, but will take you a second to find the right circumstance within the game to do that. So there's certain goals within every run you can try to do, along with trying to get trophies. So the trophies in this game are awesome. They're very difficult to get, which adds to the replayability because it'll take you a while to platinum this game. We probably did, I don't know, 5 or 6 runs before we beat the game the first time. But there, you have to beat the game with every character to like learn about each character. So you could almost give replayability higher. But I feel like once I get the platinum and I beat the game 5, 6 times, I won't play it as much. So that's why I kind of cap the replayability at 8.5, which is very respectable. This is right now anyway, I'm not sure how much this was at launch. This is $14.99 brand new online. So definitely worth that price. It's an amazing game. So replayability 8.5. Last category, fun factor. I gave it a 10. Me and my buddy beat the game about 15-20 minutes ago. Hey, when I say we, I always die at the end boss. I won't give away any spoilers about the end boss because it's kind of complex, but it is so much fun. It took us, we got to him 3 or 4 times before we finally beat him, and I always end up dying at a part of it. But anyway, he ended up finishing it off at the end, and it was so entertaining to watch him run over there and finally finish. And it was just such a good experience. It's so much fun. I think you can play with up to 4 guys together. So you and 3 of your buds can do this, or you can do solo runs by yourself. It definitely does. There's 3 different difficulties now. I hate to say it, but we beat this game on easy, and it is extremely difficult. Sorry, I had to cut. But like I said, we beat this game under easy. Medium was just too hard. 99% of the time I beat games under normal. But sometimes if I'm like not able to do it, I'm fine with beating it under easy. But I think that should be said in a review because to beat this game under normal and then there's one higher setting is just insane. There is a trophy to beat like an elite boss under the highest difficulty, which makes this game even tougher. So this game is a difficult game to beat in general on medium, and then to platinum this game would take a minute and take a lot of skill, which I really appreciate. I loved this game. So just to recap, the graphics I gave a 6.5, performance a 9, gameplay slash story a 10, replayability 8.5, fun factor 10, and that gets an 8.8, which is a great game. Story is not bad, so that's why I still gave that category a 10. I feel like I had to justify or say something about that. So there is a story, very basic, but the gameplay is so overwhelmingly great that that's why that category gets a 10. 8.8. It is a must play if you have a few guys that like shooters and roguelikes. This is an amazing experience. I can't wait to go for the platinum. This is a game, oh, and the runs take a long time. So you can see this one's at 80 minutes. I mean, you have to have at least an hour if you do bad, an hour and a half, I guess, if you do great. Because there's like there's seven, I think 7 stages to get to the final boss, and there's one trophy to do 20. Because I'm assuming, or there are portals I think that you can just rewind and go back to the beginning, so you can just keep doing that, and then just make your guy just insanely overpowered. And the game, I guess, just gets progressively harder. You can see the difficulty is ha ha ha. So it's interesting. It starts out easy, even under this is separate from like the difficulty setting you start with. But no matter what difficulty setting, it starts in easy, then medium, then hard, then insane, then I see you, then ha ha ha, or whatever they are. Um, so you can try to run through the portals real quick and get to the final boss when you may have it under insane, or try to keep picking up items and making your guy more and more tough or powerful, and then try to go about it that way. So it's kind of a risk reward system. You can try to run through it real quick and get to the final boss, or you can try to just get super powerful and just let the difficulty get insane, or ha ha ha. So this is definitely SirVern approved. I love this game, and I recommend you give it a shot, especially for $14.99. That's a no-brainer. But SirVern out.